Witness is reviewing her materials.
Sorry.
Let me change the question.
Okay.
When was the first time that you provided an IV to Michael Jackson? An IV infusion of any sort?
Well, the vitamin C IV I started very low dose in the early part of February.
Would that be February 2nd, February 3rd?
Let me just look and see, please. Yes, it was February 3rd.
Okay. A couple of days before the blood results came in?
Very low dose of vitamin C, yes.
Okay. What dose was
Oh,
that?
I'm sorry. No, he didn't receive vitamin C IV on February 3rd. He actually received glutathione on February 3rd.
What is that?
Glutathione?
Yes, ma'am.
Glutathione is an amino acid. It's about as powerful as vitamin C. And it really aids in fatigue and gives you a lot of energy also.
All right. And what dose did you provide Michael Jackson?
I provide him with 800 milligrams, which is 4 cc's.
Did you provide that with saline solution?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And how long did it take for you to provide that?
It's an IV push, so it's pushed over 10 minutes.
Then on February 10th, you visited him again, is that right?
Yes.
And you provided another IV.
He said from the first one he was feeling a lot better. His energy level had increased. And we spoke about him starting he called me for the IV of vitamin C. We had discussed it earlier. And yes, I did.
And what did this IV consist of?
Well, it's entitled the Myers Cocktail, and it consists of vitamin C. It consists of B vitamin, magnesium, calcium.
And do you recall when you made these visits to Michael Jackson? Was it usually during the day, the morning, afternoon, evening?
Well, I would see him sometime in the mornings, sometime in the evenings, because he found out that this might help him to relax. And later, as time went on, I told him it could help him to relax, to sleep better at night, and then have the B12 shot in the morning to give him more energy, but along with his supplement drink.
All right. On February 16th, you came to visit him as well.
Yes.
And this is always at his house? You came to visit him at his house?
Yes.
Okay. And did you provide him any medications on the 16th? Or nutrients, I'm sorry. Did you provide any nutrients or anything to him on the 16th as treatment?
Yes, I did, but I also went over in depth his lab results first.
Okay, and this is on the 16th of February?
This is on the 16th of February of 2009.
All right. During this period of time, when you started going over his lab results, did he complain about sleep?
No, he did not. He did not complain about sleep.
Did he not say to you, it's hard to sleep through the night?
This was much later.
Would have a hard time? It wasn't February 16th, 2009? I will refer to your progress notes.
No, unless I'm overlooking it. I didn't.
May I approach the witness, Judge?
You may.
May I approach?
Most definitely. Okay. Thank you.
Did he mention to you that he was having trouble sleeping?
Yes, he did mention it.
What did he say to you?
He just said, I'm having a hard time sleeping. And I told him, really, I might not be there, but he had just barely came off all the caffeinated sodas and everything. And I told him, just give it a little time for the nutrition to work. But he didn't make it sound like it was something of urgency, just, hard time maybe going to sleep. And, I mentioned to him, too, I mean, as time went on, because there's a lot of notes here, as time went on that, let's check more into why you're not sleeping.
This is the first time, though, that you visited him quite a bit in February already. This is the first time he's told you that he has trouble sleeping, though.
Yes.
All right. So did you, other than lay off the caffeinated drinks, the Red Bull, did you recommend any other course of treatment?
Yes. I know I would have to look. I don't remember exactly when, but we did talk about different teas that help you to sleep. And I know when I went in the evening time, I would make some of the teas for him to see if I can get him to help him to sleep a little bit better. Throughout the course leading up to, I also recommended, what he asked me, he said, I want you to see that I don't sleep well. It wasn't during this time, it was a little later.
Okay. Well, we'll get into that.
Yes, I know we will.
Okay. I'd like to go further now to March 9th. That was the next time you saw him. Is that right? March 9th?
I'm getting there.
Okay.
Yes.
And this is, he had just arrived from London.
Yes.
He had been to London on a business trip.
Yes.
Did you know that he was there to announce his O2 tour?
I saw it on. No, I didn't know.
You saw it on TV?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
And did he call you for this trip, or did you, or who called you to come out to the house at this point?
Sustained.
How is it that you came out to his house on March 9th?
Received a call from his security.
This is Fahim as well?
I work between two securities, so I can't be exact as to which one called that.
Which two securities?
Fahim and Michael Muhammad. Fahim Muhammad and Michael.
Michael Amir
Yes.
Williams? Okay. All right. And on the 9th, he was complaining of low energy and well-being. Is that right?
When he came back, yes, said he was a little tired.
All right. And you gave him an IV?
Yeah,
Nutrient
yes.
IV.
Mm-hmm.
All right. The same Myers cocktail, the same
Myers cocktail?
glutathione?
Yes.
Okay. When was the next time that you came to see him?
The 16th? March 16th, 09.
All right. And you provided, once again, another IV of Myers cocktail and other things. Is that right?
Yes, he said he was
All right.
feeling a lot better with the treatment, yes.
Now I want to direct your attention to March 26, 2009. Okay? On that date, you came out to the house at 6 a.m. Is that right?
March 26th. Yes,
6 a.m. in the morning
yes.
on March 26th. And was that an emergency appointment?
No,
It was not. Was it
No.
scheduled the day before?
it was scheduled the day before.
All right. The evening before?
I don't remember.
All right. At that time, he was complaining about the day that was ahead of him. Is that right? He was complaining about what he had to do that day. Is that right?
Yes,
and that he needed energy.
Yes.
He was lacking energy. And during this, and you provided him, once again, an infusion of Myers cocktail and other nutrients, right?
Yes.
During this visit, however, did he mention his trip to London?
I don't recall if it was that visit.
Did he happen to offer you the opportunity to go to London with him?
Yes.
Okay, and what did he say?
He said, I am feeling so great with the therapies that you have rendered me, and I would love for you to go with me to continue my treatment or my nutritional therapies.
Now, just 2 days before, on the 24th of March, 2009, you visited him in the evening, did you not?
Yes.
And during that visit, he told you that he couldn't sleep.
Yes.
And you suggested natural sleep products.
Yes, I did.
And he said that they would not work for him.
Yes, he did.
Now, I want to go to Easter Sunday, April 12th, 2009. Do you recall the conversation that you had with him on that day?
Yes.
Okay. Now, Easter Sunday is... did you make an appointment for Easter Sunday? I mean, most doctors, most nurses don't go to the house.
People that know me know that I will see them any day of the week if they need me.
Did he call you on Easter Sunday?
He had someone call me, yes.
And you went out immediately?
Yes.
All right. And on that day, April 12, 2009, can you tell us what his complaint was when you came out to see him?
He said his complaint was, I have a problem sleeping, and all the natural remedies and everything you're doing is not working. When I need sleep, I need to go to sleep right away.
Were you surprised to hear this?
Was I surprised to hear that? Well, a lot of people tell me they want to go to sleep right away. They don't want to just linger around for hours and hours. They want something to help them to sleep.
And what was your response to that comment?
When he said that, I said, well, let's maybe get you set up for some sleep studies, since all the natural remedies that I had recommended was not working. I had already did lab work to test for testosterone levels, because it's been noted that men who have low testosterone level can also have problems with insomnia. I offered him a company that would come in to do the sleep study at his home instead of him going to a location. And I offered him tests to do a neurotransmitter test that was left there at his house to test for the amino acid and see if there was some imbalance going on with amino acids for sleep. And he said he didn't have time for all that.
He said, no, I'm not going to do that.
He didn't have time for all that.
All right. And you came out a week later on the 19th as well. April 19th?
Yes.
And did he complain still about the inability to sleep?
Well, can I back up a tad bit?
Sure.
When he had asked me on Easter about, and actually, he asked me about, he wanted me to see that he had a hard time sleeping. He said, I have a hard time sleeping. I want you to, that was some of the evening, because he said, I want you to see that I don't sleep well. So you can be here and watch me, and you'll see that I don't sleep well.
And this is on Easter Sunday? Or is this on the 19th?
Easter Sunday was the day, no, it was the day before. I don't remember.
All right, well, let's just say that it's around that time. Did you take him up on his offer? Did you offer to watch him sleep?
Yes, I did.
Okay, tell us how that happened.
I arrived there one evening. It was late. And I said, I'm going to watch you sleep. You want to probably be tired enough so that you can fall off to sleep, and I can watch you instead of we're sitting there talking, watching movies like we normally would do together. And so he said, okay. So I went up to his room, and we talked for a few minutes. I made him some tea. He took another natural supplement. He said, I want you to see that it isn't working. And then I proceeded to watch him sleep.
Could you tell us what time you went up to his room?
Somewhere between 9, 10. I don't know. It was late.
It was late. Could it have
It
been
may
later?
have been 11 o'clock. I'm not sure.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand.
It could have even been a little later. I'm really not sure an exact time.
Okay. How long did you stay up in his room watching him?
I stayed there watching him until 3 in the morning. And he woke up around 3, and he said, I told you I can't stay awake. I can't stay asleep.
And
Excuse me.
did you stay at his side during that period of time?
Pardon?
Did you stay at his side during that period of time?
I sat right across the bed from him and watched him every second. I asked him, are you sure you can sleep if I'm going to sit here and watch you? I mean, I've said that before, and he said, sure, I can go to sleep.
Was he hooked up to any kind of saline?
He did have an IV going, yes. He had an IV of vitamin C and the Myers cocktail. And he had already had his sleepy time tea and some other natural supplements I had given him so he could sleep.
All total, how long do you think he slept?
Well, actually, in this particular instant, giving him everything, he actually slept 5 hours.
And then what happened?
And he woke up and he said, I told you I could not sleep throughout the entire night, because we did start a little early, because I remember it was a total of 5 hours he did sleep. And he
Turn off at a convenient time. Let us know for purposes of the adjournment.
Probably now, under the circumstances, because of Cross.
Well, I don't want to interrupt you if you want to follow through with anything, or else we can take the adjournment, whatever's easier.
Okay, well, let me just get through this part, Judge, please. And I just get 5 minutes? 5 minutes.
Okay.
I think.
Well, we'll stop at 4:10 because there are logistical issues, so.
Okay. You sat at his bedside during this period of time.
I sat at his bedside during this time.
All right. And an IV was going.
Yes.
And did you change at any point during that period of time, change out the saline?
No, it was a very low dose of vitamin C, saline, so I didn't have to change anything.
Okay, so 1,000 milliliter bag of saline.
No, it was a 250.
250.
I could check the bag, because normally we would just do 150 to 250.
And this stayed in the entire time that he slept?
Most definitely.
Where was the catheter?
He had very, very small veins, and so it was always in his hand. And he would sit there and not move, and it was usually on the outer surface of the hand. So
All right. How were his veins, besides being
his
small?
veins were very, very small. Matter of fact, he even made a little joke about it himself. And he said, doctors have always told me that it's hard for them to get my veins because I have squiggly veins.
Was there any other problem with his veins? Did it seem to be problematic other than being squiggly and small?
No, I have a way of using something to put on the hand that warms the hand so the veins sort of dilate, so it makes it very easy and it's less painful for the client. So he had no pain, and I use a very, very tiny butterfly, so he was fine.
In your medical records on the 19th of April, where you discuss this event, you say that he requested you to stay the night to understand his pattern of sleeping for 2 to 3 hours, then waking up.
Yes.
All right. And prior to you staying the night, did he discuss any desires he had to obtain medication?
No.
He just said...
That actually, all of that happened on Easter. So I had to figure out dates, because that was the date that the medication came up, and that was Easter.
Okay. And at some point when he woke up, or when he said he couldn't sleep, did he mention a medication?
On 4/12, April 12th of '09 is when he mentioned a medication.
May
That was...
let me stop you for just a second, Ms. Lee.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Are you sure you're not mixing up your dates? May I approach the witness?
Well, there's a question pending.
Could you be mixing up your dates? Could this be the 19th of April?
Yes.
Okay. It's 4:10, Judge.
Okay. May I see counsel for just a moment? Adjournment at this time. Ms. Lee, I want to thank you for your testimony. You may step down. You're ordered to come back tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock a.m. Don't discuss your testimony or the facts of the case with any other witness until the trial is over. And if you'd be kind enough to step down right now, you'll be able to come on back and retrieve your documentation as well as your briefcase, all right? Thank you. If you could just have a seat behind the prosecutors. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to take the evening recess and adjournment, which means it's a time for me to deliver to you the all-important admonishments. Do not discuss any aspects of this case among yourselves or with any other person, or form or express any opinions about the case until it is submitted finally to you. Do not visit any scene or location that may have been referenced or mentioned or involved in the case. Don't perform any experiments or on your own or through another person conduct any independent research or investigation on any topics, subjects, or persons mentioned or involved in the case. Do not access or come in contact with any television or radio programs, newspaper or magazine articles, books, or the Internet regarding any of those topics, subjects, or persons. Do not, on your own or through another person, access any Internet website, including but not limited to any search engine sites such as Google, Ask, or Bing, or social network site, including but not limited to Facebook or MySpace, or text or tweet, or access any blogs, or post any messages on any blogs, on any topics, subjects, or persons mentioned or involved in the case. Do not have any contact or communication whatsoever with the defendant, the attorneys, the witnesses, or spectators. If anyone communicates with you or approaches you with regard to this case, immediately cease any such encounter. Do not discuss anything with any other person, and immediately notify the court staff or security as well. Do all of you continue to accept unhesitatingly the admonishments and promises you will comply? All indicating the affirmative. You got a treat tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to ask you to come back at 9 o'clock a.m. Big deal, because we have some legal issues we have to address. The President of the United States, President Obama, is in town today, which means that the entire county of Los Angeles will be in gridlock. So take that into account today, and the President will be leaving tomorrow morning, which also will probably raise some issues of transportation. So keep tuned to any radio or television programs with regard to SIG alerts for tomorrow. We'll see all of you at 9 a.m. tomorrow, and again, thanks for your continued patience. Have a good evening. Good night.